Yes, we are back once again like the proverbial Renegade Master. First cast of the year, and what a game it will be. Toronto Ultra, who have been showing all kinds of form recently against a new London team with an old favourite European Sunton.
Yeah, somebody we were very biased on a few years ago, it has to be said, in Scrapz. I'm really interested to see how this team's going to work out. Of course, you know, we know what kind of guy he is. We know what kind of player he is. We've been talking about him growing as a person, and he's now back in this limelight once again. And a lot to prove. I think a lot of people will be sort of saying, like, what are we expecting from him? Does he deserve the shot, etc., etc.? And, well, he's the one that's going to tell us that story.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird game for us as well, because there is a lot of history with Scrapz, and we have to be the commentators also have to deal with the Scrapz versus Scrappy issue that we will get through this
be hard
game. But there is a huge storied history that we will go into as this progresses. But for me, one of the things for this one is I'm not really gonna worry too much if he doesn't have the hottest of starts. Like, obviously if he does, fantastic for all the London fans, but bearing in mind he's kind of been out of the top leagues for at least a year, he's come back into it. He probably will make a positive change to London, but you're going against Toronto Ultra. This is Toronto Ultra team. He's one of the favourites in the league at the moment. Everybody's expecting them to do well.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would be too surprised if Toronto come out and comfortably win this game. And I think if you're a London fan, you may be expecting that as well. But for the London side, it's about growing as the season goes on, as the stage goes on, I should say. But these guys on your screen, Toronto Ultra, we want to come out hot after a very good performance, obviously, on Raleigh. London Royal Ravens, though, was anything but good. But look at Zero. He's vibing already. We've kind of heard a little bit about Zero, what he was saying. That energy is an important factor that Scrapz brings to the table, and that clearly in full form there, Bryce.
Yeah, again, it's dancing on both sides here. Ultra and the Ravens having a little boogie before we get down to it. And again, my prediction for this, I'm kind of going with the desk. Ultra have looked like the better team. The biggest stories for this one is, can they continue their run towards the top? And can London Royal Ravens find a way back into at least middle of the table, maybe a little bit higher? The kind of hard point hasn't been great for them, though.
It hasn't been, and I think that's a really important one that we've seen down towards the bottom left corner in terms of that rotational percentage. Most of the time, London in general are very, very low on that rotational side of things, and Toronto Ultra very high. So that's obviously very important when it does come down to Mikado. They're really going to come out the gate swinging, though. I need to see a good slaying performance, get some confidence underneath their belts, see if they can do it here up against Toronto Ultra.
Well, straight into this P1 here as well, and we will keep an eye on that spawn system as well. It has changed a little bit. A lot more blocking spawns and parallel spawns, but already a fight going down, and that's 3 Ultra inside.
Oh my god! Oh, you just can't let that happen. That's far too easy for the side of Toronto Ultra. Team does well to find one, Scrapz will find another, but having a look over towards those spawns, it's an instant flip for the side of Toronto Ultra, and as far as bad starts go, that's as worse as it possibly could have went for the side of London Royal Ravens, trying to recoup as best as they can, but Toronto Ultra in control of P2.
You see at the moment here, it's all about making sure you don't let Ultra get any more time in this P1, and then try to figure out a break towards P2. Asim looking for it. Not going to find anything yet. No reinforcements either for him. You can see both teams just making sure their positioning is correct. For Ultra, they have the spawn and the advantage.
Zero now. Pushing down this right-hand side over towards Plant Potsy. Will find the second. Scrap will fall down. So then, ultimately, it is going to be a pinch starting to be set up from the side of Royal Ravens. Look at the spawn out coming in from Scrap, though. Telling the rest of his teammates, just hold. I've got the pinch, and there is the hold. Insight will find 2. This should be Ultra. Continue to lock time down. There's a third for Insight. Perfect hold so far.
They're just making sure they can keep putting them, bouncing them off that spawn. Insight knows a player's going to be challenging here soon, but the players can't get anywhere near at the moment. London Royal Ravens not able to even get a little sniff of P2.
And there's Scrap just to clean up the scrap, so to speak. Zero and Nastie pushing on through. Yeah, they get rid of Insight, but you've got a few more members of Ultra to get through. He manages to find 2. And that rotation is eventually going to come in for the Royal Ravens. That scrap time is going to be picked up. Ravens will be happy enough for that. And, well, it will be a pretty close game by the time we head over towards P3, but the trenches are being dug already from the side of Toronto Ultra. Big kill from CleanX. And they find a second onto a seam. No, not quite. Ravens do have some purchase here.
They do. A little bit of time for the Ravens, but Ultra are digging deep. They're ready to get that lead fully back towards their side. And now the stack coming in. They're looking for this. The Ravens are waiting. Just the smallest hit for a stage. You can see the first player sees a seam, stays alive as well, gets out of it, and it's all good for them. It's a 2 versus 2. They try and challenge him, but Stanley's still alive. Finds another one. One more player to come for it. Is he going to dive out with a knife? He does, but he goes down to Scrapz, and Scrapz now keeping that door open for his team.
He's kept some sort of presence here for the side of the Royal Ravens. Is he now going to push inside? The point will get gunned though. Scrap, easy enough one for him. Sitting at 8 and 4 was also impressive in Raleigh. Continue to lock this down though if you're Ultra, momentarily at least, as Nastie will get traded, but still points on the board for the side of Ultra. Those rotations have been very strong the majority of the time. They found themselves first there. They're picking up a lot of points here, Bryce. London Royal Ravens, though, broken far too easily on that first occasion. Has to be said, that rotation over to P2 may well be the making of Toronto Ultra throughout the rest of this map. Scrapz just chilling at this moment in time, but eventually the Royal Ravens will have a rotation underneath their belt. Let's see if they can get some points for it.
Scrapz gets picked off by Clinics there as well, and they've straight into this back alley. They try and make themselves known. London will be desperate to hold, desperate to get reinforcements anywhere they can towards this. But here come Ultra. They have the bodies, they have the positioning. Nastie's going to be in trouble. He'll be the first one to go down if they make a big push, but he's going to run over the top. Nastie's going to get banged as well. Inside doesn't even bother looking at him. Takes him out through the door, and Ultra have broken.
That's far too easy for the side of Toronto Ultra right now. London Royal Ravens. Scrapz not having too bad of a slaying performance, but as far as rotations go, he's going to be one of those guys just trying to win out. Needs the help of his SMGs to get in there as well. Nastie can't quite clean up onto Standy. And ultimately, this is just so easy for Ultra so far. They barely came out of second gear. In this moment in time, they're building towards a 100-point lead.
Again, it comes down to the rotation. London will need this to get back into this game at the moment, trailing by a significant margin. And already the fight's going down here at the rotation. Nastie has to do something incredible. He knows where these players are. He knows where Kleenex is. Finds the first, but there is another Ultra player in here, and he knows it as well, looking for insight. Nastie's going to find him up the top, and it's a huge two-piece. Seam cleans it up, and that's the break that London needed. They needed this map position.
They don't have enough control here, though. A couple of players still spawning out. Scrapz is there to find Kleenex. Still nobody in the hill for the side of Royal Ravens. They're scared about the push coming in from mid alley. They clean that up. Points now starting to come on the board. I see him having to hold this map out. You can already see the spawns come in just a little bit different. Zero now will clean up on the backside, and that should be a few points here for the Royal Ravens.
Exactly what they wanted. They rotated early. They've played for this. Still pressure, though, coming in from Ultra. They are in the driving seat. Every single time they can continue to apply this pressure if they want to. That last one going down, they probably won't do it. I say that as Inside makes a huge kill. That scrap time is not going to go the way of London as Scrapz fights towards back alley. And you see they're trying to just get this positioning correct.
Nastie the only one here. Can he find anything good? Snap onto Stanley. Headshot multiplier for the win. Nastie, can he stay alive? The answer is no. The rest of the Royal Ravens, though, trying to find a way through here. Just headbutting downside alley, but they have to be careful because as soon as Ultra clean up, they then have control. And this becomes so much more difficult, especially if you get hit in the face by a Semtex. Kleenex, that is wonderful from him. That's a full lock now for Ultra.
Yeah, and they are just putting the slaying pain onto the Ravens. Funny enough, I don't think the slaying's even that far out of pocket. It's just positioning and rotation. Toronto Ultra are better at it. We have said before this one, London Royal Ravens don't have statistically a great time on this map, and they're not having another good time now. Let's find out, though, how the new look London Royal Ravens sound in the comms with a listen in.
Back door, green door. Cow me, bro. What the fuck? Green door.
Back alley, ciao guys. Standy hitting Mack alley, Mack alley.
We're gonna get a picture now.
He's really weak. On hold, really weak.
I can blue, you guys.
Kleenex on hold. Hit late. Check out time.
I sent him blue.
Spawn it. I've already
Half left boat, nice, good job.
Yo, one's got it. One's on the pass, holding through. One's holding edge.
We need to go house as well.
Yeah. One's holding house. One's literally our spawn.
Go house, you spawn there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One's gonna be playing for it. We have to wait for house, guys.
Throw attacks over. Oh, child mid, bro. White pickup.
Yeah, he's laid down in people, door.
Wait.
Got him pick up.
Lay down in people, door.
Coming. Small.
Could be in smoke.
Lay down in people.
You blocking the house.
Yeah.
He's spawning out.
He's inside people.
That's two. More close.
No, he's in people.
White pickup.
Back alley in P4. Everyone keep fucking talking. No, that's one's in.
Back alley, yellow car, on the right.
Dead.
Nice. One mid ice.
Yeah, he's coming out.
White pickup, boys. White pickup.
And then white pickup. One shot.
Keep playing through those guys.
Back alley heading.
We got a weird
mid. No, you don't have mid. Back alley still on.
I'm gonna help you.
Nice, good.
Back alley, we're dead.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm wrapping right here.
Let's get back in this fucking game.
One's banana.
Main caution.
Banana.
All right, the London Royal Ravens breaking the 100 points there, but one of the main calls for that one has to be Scrapz calling out saying everybody keep talking, not allowing his team to get their head down even if they are quite far behind.
Yeah, it's still not looking ideal. They have closed the gap somewhat, but that gap, when it's pretty much insurmountable, closing it, I mean, we've seen some comebacks already, especially specifically in Raleigh, but this will be a special one as well for the Royal Ravens. They do have the setup though. They have that rotation over towards P2. They had it straight off the rip, and we're not able to make it count. Scrapz will find 2 though. Important kills at important times has been the issue. Scrapz trying to find one of his own, takes down Scrapz, and all of a sudden, that rotation that they did have is now gone. Far too easy once again for Toronto Ultra to break that.
Yeah, try and regain it here in the last second, but can they find the kills they need at the moment? Nobody from London Royal Ravens ready to contest this like they would. See Scrapz down the back alley, waiting for teammates to reinforce. It's a stack here from Ultra, and they're just trying to cut it, but Simp gets 2. He's opened the door for them. Inside's going to be inside, and he's looking for that player as well. They do clean up a lot of this pressure through here, and now it's going to be Zero left alone, trying to make a difference.
Yeah, they heard him as well. Inside instantly turning around. Toronto Ultra looking to end it here in Cantina. 45 seconds or so to go, and they're all spawning over towards plant pots, but the kill starting to come in here. London Royal Ravens will find a break on through, but they need to be pretty much perfect from now. And Kleenex Nelly finds a second as well. Ultra still fighting for this as best as they can. Rotation's going to be important for Ravens, but they need to stop this time going over towards Ultra.
Standy's actually just playing his life, trying to get out of there. He knows that London Royal Ravens have to make every push possible and make everything work. Scrapz trying to make sure he holds down that time as well. Standy goes for the chow, finds the first one. We know a second player here. Easy clean up in the end. And the rotation will be in Zero's hands. He's up top. He's ready. He's going to look for that first player. Easy kill for him in the end. And the Ravens are here, Tom, but every time we say this, they either lose it very, very quickly, and they've still got a huge deficit to make up.
Yeah, they've been mostly outplayed the entire way through. If they're not winning rotation, they're getting broken. If they're not holding anything, they're losing spawns immediately. Like, everything is kind of going wrong for the side of the Royal Ravens here, and there will be a post-mortem for them, you would think, after this one. Zero trying to lock this one down. Scrapz is the only one who can find a kill here. Inside towards the back. They need this time desperately, and they'll get a good chunk of it here. 35 seconds remaining. They can get within, what, 70 if they hold the rest of this time? I mean, it's a tough spot to be in right now if you're a Royal Ravens fan, but good shots from Zero. But it's all about this next rotation. Toronto Ultra will be not stressing about this too much. They have the spawns for the rotation round if they need it.
They certainly do. Is there a glimmer of hope? aBeZy is going to see that second player as well. Cleans him up.
Big fight.
Will go towards them. Here comes the push all the way through. Nastie, is he going to see that player? No. A little bit of tunnel vision, but he knows there's going to be a player towards the back. It's going to be Scrapz on the head here. Nastie does get him. And they're trying to work here. Nastie gets a second kill, but back alley is becoming populated by Ultra. Zero's going to try and stay alive here in the hill. He doesn't have as much players with him as he would like. And they've gone down, and he's done it again. Same wall bang. Get out of that corner.
Once again, the Royal Ravens, when it comes down to back alley, they just haven't locked it down strongly enough. Scrapz now looking to finally put the nail in the coffin of this map number 1. Inside the point, here comes aBeZy, and that's going to be that. London Royal Ravens put to sleep in map number 1. Toronto Ultra want to the good.
Well, we said coming into this, we expect Ultra to be the better team, and pretty much for that entire hard point they were. Rotations were better, slaying was better, positioning was better, and the teamwork, there is a million things to break down from that one, but it's kind of as we expected. Signs of life potentially in London, but I just don't know if that was a great first hard point for them.
No, it wasn't. I think, you know, straight off from the rip, you have the better side spawn. You're sitting P2. It's a good hold if you can keep a hold of it. They get broke pretty much off the rip, and that really did set the tone for the rest of the game. When it does come down to slaying, etc., yeah, okay. A lot of people will look at 19 and 24 from Scrapz, not too bad, but ultimately the lowest on the leaderboard that we're seeing on your screen here. But realistically, it was that rotation over towards P2. They lost that both times that they had it on first and second rotation. P3 wasn't too bad for them, but they're heading over towards P4. Ultimately, we've seen them win those rotations, get control of Barbershop, but no control of Cantina twice means the same break comes through exactly the same way from the same player and Insight. Free push down back alley, and it's a wall bang through the door. We'll see you later, and that's Toronto Ultra with a comfortable map number 1 win. But I think London Royal Ravens Masters are on downfall there. Just it's, you know, we talk about slaying, we talk about holding down spawns, but it's important gunfights and important moments. It just felt like none of them went their way, and ultimately they were completely punished for it every single time.
Yeah, there was probably a couple of times where you could say they probably shouldn't have broken that easily, especially when you're playing for those rotations and those spawns. I think the P1 to P2, we all knew what they were playing for, and neither time were they able to pull it off. But hey, call it teething issues, call it the first game back this year. There's still a lot of game left in this series for the Royal Ravens, as well as a long season.
really long season. They have a lot of time to get things up and running, and you know, I think they'll be looking towards Boston 2 Major to be at the point where they can start to maybe flex their muscles a little bit. It does take time. A lot of these teams, of course, I mean, look who they're going up against is Toronto Ultra. Scrapz, we barely even spoke about him because we were just trying to concentrate on what the Ravens were not necessarily doing right. But he went off that game. Every single gunfight we seen on his screen was going his way. And I said, those important gunfights, those fast ARs, what they're going to be doing is getting into positions to win those gunfights on rotation. And he was there more often than not, and more often than not, he was winning the gunfight. So there you go, map number 1 win for the side of Toronto Ultra. No surprises necessarily coming there, but a comfortable one at that. They'll be happy with it.
Yeah, and let's talk about the positives here from Ultra realistically. Like, how many times are we now just expecting excellence from them? How many times are we going to look at Scrappy and say, hey, he's dropping ridiculous numbers, and go, oh, that's just pretty much normal at this point? We're becoming jaded with how good this player is straight into the season. We haven't even got like technically 4 weeks of games in total, and already we're like, yeah, this is it. He's just going to absolutely just destroy anybody he's up against.
It has,
and that's
kind of
the
this
scary thing. Consistency at that high level is terrifying.
It has kind of the same aura around it from when like Simp came into the CWL.
Yeah.
That is the kind of vibe that we're getting, isn't it? Like that's the level of performance he's bringing on every single occasion. You can see the Ultra boys all vibing there, feeling good about themselves after that map number 1 win. But yeah, he was all time when it comes down to Raleigh. I mean, that 40 bomb that we seen up against Thieves was... it's something quite special, it has to be said. I think it was a really, really strong showing from him, and consistent performances though. We've seen, yeah, okay, 1 or 2 dud games, but for the most part, he was there, he was slaying. And for the Toronto Ultra team, that's what you want. You want something like that out of him. You lose players like Bance and Cammy. Cammy was that guy, but can Scrapz live up to the hype? So far, so good.
And as we go and look at the players here, you can see a little bit of a different atmosphere from both of them. Obviously, London trying to figure this one out. And so this is one of the things we're going to talk about Scrapz. One of the stories that we've heard coming out of the grapevine for this London Royal Ravens team is this could be about the vibes. Scrapz has always been known for his very passionate style of playing the game. He wants to be the best. He is very much about the vibes. And if London can look to him as maybe a leader, maybe a veteran who can just continue with that positive mindset, then maybe more than just statistics that they're looking for here. I don't know. I am looking forward to it. There, like I said before, if we get a chance, there's a lot to break down about Scrapz coming through, and I'm excited to see him back in the league. He's always entertaining regardless of what you think.
I am glad to have him here. I had missed his energy. You know, we always have a good chat with him at events over the past years, and he's a good personality to have back in the scene. Not necessarily the best map number 1, but you'll be looking to rectify that heading into map number 2, but Insight really has been influential for this Ultra side with his S&D KDs coming on through. Such a strong player. When it does come down to it, 1v3s, 1v2s, whatever position you kind of put him in, he'll always do a good job. But looking at Embassy Search and Destroy specifically, we've only seen it once from both 2 teams, and that is only from Toronto, losing it to FaZe in Raleigh 6-2. But FaZe are very, very strong at that map, so we're not really having any expectations heading into this. Ultra's S&D has necessarily been quite strong in terms of win rates. It's coming in at 61% at the time. They're looking good on it, so they were looking to try and put this one nearly done and dusted after map number 2. But London, let's see what they got in the bag here. I mean, I'm interested to see if we can bring something different into Embassy Search and Destroy.
Yeah, it certainly is. And one of the things we probably even get overshadowed, right? Insight's been having an incredible season as well. So has Standy. Like, the Ultra boys are certainly having a very good time. And even with Raleigh, you know, they probably didn't go as far as they wanted to. But incredible showing from this team, considering they had the changes coming out of the gate, considering they lost to Minnesota in the qualifiers. They look like a team to be reckoned with, and it's one of the teams that, as we go through the rest of the season, even now, right, going towards Boston, people are expecting this to be a top 3 team guaranteed.
You'd think so. I mean, look, they didn't lose to anybody bad when it does come down to it over in Raleigh. I think, you know, you see their hard point up against FaZe, and you kind of, well, I expected maybe a little bit more out of them on that side of things, losing to the eventual winners 3-2 in New York, of course. They are very much up there. We kind of had the conversation at the beginning of the year, didn't we? What do we expect? And we just weren't sure when we were talking about them. We were talking about Minnesota, who's getting the better end of the deal. Well, I think it's pretty easy to say that right now. Toronto Ultra are the ones rubbing their hands together.
I think the only question mark we had was Scrapz going from challenges where he's been phenomenal into the CDL. Can he continue to do that? And the truth is yes, which is, by the way, it may sound easy. Oh, you're good in challenges, you come to the CDL, you're also good. Happens less than you think. If you really think it happens less than you think, especially with the level of performance he was putting on. Right, I expected maybe a bit of a downturn. Maybe like he has to adjust to teams that are always going to be more practice, always going to have better teamwork, and we'll figure out your breaks and your habits and everything else for it. But he came in, smack talked everybody, learned Spanish, and just has been an incredibly entertaining player. As I say, that exact reason why. And like I said, for a lot of people at home, and especially for, you know, the people behind the scenes in the CDL and everybody else, already one of the fan favorites, right? The whole team is dancing here as we wait for this lobby to start. We just have a little lobby reset. It'll be on in a second, but hey, the vibes are high and we're feeling good.
For God's sake, I can't stop watching them now. You got look at them. They're just playing up to the cameras. Despicable, attention seeking, if you ask me. You know, like I think if you want to talk about challenges in terms of does it translate, I think we've got a perfect example of seeing if it does tomorrow with Florida taking on that LAG roster. I was about to say that LAG Academy roster, but kind of is, if you like. So we'll be interested to see how they get on. But Scrapz very much proving that he is here to stay, and that challenger season wasn't just a fluke at all. He's been playing very, very well in the online side of things, played well on LAN as well. And that was a big question, you know, coming into that big stage. Is he going to be able to do it on that stage specifically? And the answer was absolutely yes. So very interested to see how this team do crack on throughout the rest of the year. And well, I'm interested to see how they do on aBeZy, because as I said, we have only seen it from them once. We haven't seen it yet from London. So it should be an interesting one.
Well, let's find out, because maybe, just maybe, there is that silver lining time. Maybe they can figure this one out. Like I said, for London before, it was kind of the same thing as last year. It started off super hot, right? It started off hot this year, and then it kind of fell by the wayside. But there is always hope. There is always a way to redeem yourselves. LA Thieves proved it last year, right? If anything, never count a team out. LA Thieves last year showed us that it doesn't matter until you get to the end. And that could be true for any of these teams. But let's have a look at this break-off. Insight with the sniper straight away.
Snipers have been effective when has come down. aBeZy, and oh, there's a good reason for it. Zero we'll see in round number 2. Insight, very well known for this. CleanX may well be dead, though. A scene pushes the tempo. Another kill is going to be answered back. Standy hits nothing but thin air, but will eventually hit Nastie. 3v2.
Scrapz.
Big kills.
Trying to stay alive. Needs to go for oversight here. Insight versus Scrapz, and Insight tries to take the quick shot, but gets away there before he can do anything. Now going to do a retake with a sniper pistol.
There was a big flank going on. That Scrapz completely shut down, and that's a good reason as to why the rounds went over towards the London Royal Ravens. We won't get to see it, but there was a big push coming around the outside of aBeZy over towards the car park side. Scrapz finds that gunfight, stops the pinch coming on through, and it seems really good work pushing forward. Help the team get it moving. 3-0 from him the first round, with a big kill coming in from Scrapz as well. It's a good start for the Ravens.
It is. It's just what they needed. A little bit of a bounce back. And this is the thing. Again, one of the, you know, when you have a hard point like that, when you have a lot of pressure on you, as they're going to have coming into this one, just getting that first round, getting the first few kills, it's going to do wonders for relaxing into the game. This team's already got that hit marker challenge coming through, so he knows something's going down at B early. Might make the challenge. Zero's above him with a sniper. They're looking for this one. When that bomb goes down, they might swing into action.
There it is. Zero now in position where he needs to try and find a pick to help the rest of his team just break on through. Look at this setup from Ultra all the way towards the back, and there's nobody really trying to flank, but they don't need to. They can find the kill through the front door. Nastie seem combining 2v4 now.
And now the rest of the Ravens are trying to get in position to hold this off. They go for the defuse. Scrapz already going to find Scrapz. Nastie's waiting here inside the other side of the door. They're just waiting. This door's all the separation. The timing for Nastie. Perfect timing. It seems up here as well, and they are looking for Scrapz. Where is he? He's going to find the player on the bomb. Going to find the second player, and he gets it. It's enough. It's enough. aBeZy might have a 5 streak, but that bomb is going to explode. Scrapz finds a gap in a 1 versus 3 and stops it dead.
In those kind of moments, Scrapz just plays his life on, because you expect him up top aBeZy every single time. They clear that out, and it's like, right, okay, well, where could he possibly be? Run straight through the front of the building. Nearly kills the seam as well, to be honest with you, but it wouldn't have mattered. Big kill coming in from Scrap.
That's insane. That's insane. London Royal Ravens are going to be sick with that one. They thought they had it locked in. They even found insight with a bit of timing up top. But couldn't find Scrap, who was lurking and waiting. 1-1, all tied up. aBeZy hasn't died yet. He's 5-0.
Let's see if he can keep it rolling. Because honestly, you don't mind a streak on this map. Scrap could be in trouble here. Get out, get out, get out. Doesn't get out in time. Good shots coming in from aBeZy. Follows it up after the grenade goes through. Now it's 2 versus 3 in London's favor. They really have their number when it does come down to it. Oh, good shots from aBeZy once again. Now a 3 versus 1.
aBeZy moving different. aBeZy moving different. Stanley, run for your life. He's hot, he's on fire, and he's cooking. Stanley looking for his own 1 versus 3. A little bit more difficult.
Oh, this is a
He heard him, he heard him. Doesn't matter.
Really tough for Stanley there when it does come down to it, but aBeZy just, as I said in round number 1, he's pushing the tempo consistently. Once he finds that grenade on the Scrap, he knows he's got his, I'm running with his tail between his legs, follows it up with a couple of shots in the back, and all of a sudden, that side of the map bursts wide open for the side of the London Royal Ravens. They might find the push through, keep the aggression up if you're aBeZy. He's challenging anybody at the minute, Bryce.
Yes, he does look like he's found another gear to move into. Very, very scary. Very, very clean as well with the shooting. Needs to continue it, though. Continue to put this pressure on. Be the unkillable man. That's another stun check. To find 1! No, Stanley equal to it. That has the advantage. Zero not able to get that trade onto inside. Now, London do not have the numbers in this one. There's another player gone down. Scrapz is down as well. Zero's taken a few bullets. And Stanley says, thank you very much for the cleanup. It's only going to be Nastie left alive in a 1 versus 4.
Not the best of spots to do this one either. This should be another round over to Ultra. The trade is in. Well played from Ultra. And honestly, I think, you know, aBeZy as being given the license to push forward like that back from this team. It's very, very clear. That's what he does on Search and Destroy. You just let him off the leash, move forward, see if you can create the plays. But Ultra this time around, catching off guard, and all of a sudden the round looks very one-sided. So great play from Ultra. That opening kill, very, very important. And to be honest, their Search and Destroy has been really, really strong. But I think, you know, if we go back to the round with the 2 versus 4 coming on through, they have the second worst first blood percentage of 45%, but the third best 3v4 percentage at 34%. So they've been looking pretty good in those, I want to say, weak situations. Can they find themselves in a positive one here, though? Once again, they kind of see a drop to first blood again. And that's the worry sometimes when you get maybe a little bit too aggressive. You start to feel it. You can get too aggressive and you can be overzealous and start feeling rounds like that over towards Toronto Ultra.
Zero being very, very patient here, waiting for his health to come back. They're looking for a kill, but Scrap takes down Nastie. Zero now got a challenge as well, but Insight takes him down as well, like a shooting gallery. It's going to be Scrapz who's going to have a go himself. Looks for Insight. Gets a few hit markers, but gets damaged himself, and now they're just going to put the squeeze on. More Ultra players looking for Scrapz, and eventually Scrap will take him down as well. Never got going, Ton.
No, it hasn't, because I think, you know, when the team is getting forward and finding that opening kill, it's looking great for the Ravens, but there's no plan B. if he doesn't go forward and find the kill, they get picked apart very, very easily. So Toronto Ultra have moved and adjusted the way they're playing this one. Just a little bit more passive, expecting the routes that are going to come through from aBeZy. You've seen it in not that round, but the previous. Caught him off guard when he tries to be aggressive. We've seen it in that round as well. Sitting at 7-2, yes, he's doing well for the team, but he's being caught off guard, and it's not helping the squad at all. Zero with a grenade kill, though, is going to slow things down over towards B, but Standy pushing it once again. aBeZy will find the kill this time.
Inside! Scrapz goes for the chow. And nothing but face. Inside just slowing this one down here. Same thing for London. London don't want to move. They don't want to give this away. They know there's a sniper out there. And they have the numbers. So all goes quiet.
Bob not in the best of positions here. If you're on the side of Toronto Ultra. Monroe Evans mostly static, but Nastie now making his way over towards B. That is the expectation. Zero, little peek through the window. Nothing to be spotted though. Scrapz actually got a free route down the middle of the map here. Could break things wide open. Is the team going to get some bad timing? Answer is no.
Insight for 1 versus 3. Saw so many of them last year, but they are going to shut him down before he can do anything. And London tie this one up 3-3. They were patient and it paid out. Really is a fight between these two teams, or a scrap, you could say.
You know, you even told me about that joke beforehand. I didn't think you actually.
I don't feel good about it. You know, I don't feel good about it.
Do it. I feel this is literally on whether or not we see aBeZy find something for Ravens. If he does, they win the round. If he doesn't, they lose the round.
Well, that was Zero that time.
Yeah,
managed to get that first blood with a grenade. It must have probably been a double nade gone over somewhere. But all tied up, and yeah, seems still 9-2. They're going aggressive here again. That nade's going to hit him. They're going to know he's up here.
Oh, look at this from Ultra. There's no chance they expect. Oh my god, how on earth he got away with that?
No, that's not fair. Dive out, 180, drop him for the first blood. Down. aBeZy. aBeZy.
It was like watching Yakko in Raleigh when he jumps out of Fortress window. What on earth was that? Disgusting. All of a sudden it is Scrap now left in a 1 versus 3. This is to make it 4-3 to the Royal Ravens. When it seems running hot, things looking great.
Scrap,
let's see if he can keep it up.
Well, okay, aBeZy. We said first blood, if he can get it, they can do well, and here it is again. Dive out, land on top of the ridge, and gun Standy.
Oh, I'd be furious.
That is a ridiculous maneuver, and not something you would always recommend, but he made it look effortless and like something you should definitely do every time. But works. Does put them in the lead on the S&D.
I think if you're Ultra, the less said about that, the better. And they set up really, really nicely. I liked it all the way down the road in front of aBeZy. They were just ready and waiting for the aggressive push to come on through, but on the Royal Ravens now pushing on through. aBeZy. Can he find the pick here? That's Scrap. Heard anything here, but Zero will find the kill onto Standy. That bomb nonetheless is going to go down. CleanX, can he get out? I don't think he's going to be expecting this many members of London Royal Ravens up top aBeZy. This map's all skew with. Insight now needs to stay alive. Will find one. Will get himself out as well.
Movement not quite there, Ton. Tries to get out, not going to do it. But look at this flank coming in. CleanX should. That player's up top. Not found anyone yet. And oh my goodness, they're right next to each other. CleanX and Nastie. Oh, gets two. Turns and burns. aBeZy managed to find CleanX. Now the Chow coming through, but Scrap is laying down. That is ridiculous. I wish we can get a replay on what CleanX just did. You could tell he's happy with it. But this is the final kill count. This is Scrap taking down aBeZy. The CleanX just did something disgraceful.
I would love to see it from his POV because it looks, when you can see that it looks disgusting from a different angle, it always does. Oh no! Oh, oh dear.
Wow, 4-4. That is not always good to watch. The CleanX finds two. He was 1-5 before that.
Zero the Danish pastry there, man. That was ridiculous. CleanX now alive and kicking. Standy will be the first one to find a kill. aBeZy answers back 3 versus 3. Trading blows. They've been so peculiar rounds already. We've seen some weird challenges. We've seen some crazy first bloods. We've seen some dud rounds, to be honest with you, as well. Scrap will find aBeZy though. 2 versus 3 now for the Ravens to try and find out.
And this cuts off a lot of the map. That was their furthest player up, but he was giving them the option to move forward. Zero and Nastie also aren't together. Standy is hunting, desperately looking for them. Zero is going the long way out towards ambulance. He might try and get an A plant down. But both teams just trying to figure out the exact disposition of the other. Nastie just crawling along desks, just crouching, waiting to see if he can even see a shoulder, a toe, a follicle of anybody on this map.
Expectation is that would be a B push, but Zero will find the kill into Insight. Fakes the kill cam, actually, if anything, just to try and think he's planting. Now going to be behind the bomb. Is Scrapz going to check all the way around here? Will he see him in time? He's going to see Nastie behind him, and Zero pops in. We'll have you as well. Ultra now 5-4 to the good. A strange round. Nobody really with any sort of control across the map. Eventually, London Royal Ravens do make their move, and Scrapz will shut it down. 1 round away for Ultra.
Well, they would look for it, and obviously Zero's waiting for Nastie to pack him up, and ends up Nastie kind of lining him up for Scrapz in the end. That was a huge gunfight. And if Nastie had won it, may have gone a different way. If he'd taken down Scrapz, then it would have been a 2 versus 1. Probably would have been traded out very quickly by Standy, coming down to a 1 versus 1. But that did not happen. Scrapz just takes both. And they've put themselves within striking distance of taking this S&D. All on Ultra now. 1 more round.
London Royal Ravens, if they can find 2 rounds here, make it a series. Some positives out of it. Great shots from Scrapz onto Nastie. I think, you know what, he sees Zero as he's crouching back up. I think he kind of got prone, stuck on the bomb. Unfortunate if you're Zero. But if you're Scrappy, you will take those all day long. 10 and 6 from him. Drop big numbers in the hard point as well. Can we close it out with a bang here in map number 2?
They're going to be waiting on a seam.
He's 14 and 5.
Unbelievable, this S&D. But he has to continue to do so. They are still down 14 kills, but only 4 rounds, and he's trapped a little bit.
Danger.
He might get chowed here. Nade's coming through as well. Still alive. Health back as well.
And now the problem is, he has no idea where CleanX is. Did he push up top generators? Is he on the stairs? No idea. Has to back down. Bomb down now for Toronto Ultra. CleanX ready and waiting. It's a 4 versus 4. Perfect positioning here for Ultra. A seam though. Street coming in. You ain't finding anybody. Not a soul. They're all inside of it. Well, okay, never mind. He sees him on the bomb site. That's just fortunate if you like. And 4v3.
Seems to make a jump. He's going to go and look for him up top. Has to go fast though. 23 seconds left. London versus the clock. They have the numbers, and the seam finds another.
Gotta go.
Has to keep going. He knows where this player's going to be. He cleans out towards the top. He's looking for the player on the side as well. Seam's going to find another 3. It's Standy left. Has to go for it. Eventually, he takes it down. He has to defuse, but it's not going to matter. The clock goes against them. Standy's alive, and Ultra will take the S&D. Seam did everything he could, but it isn't enough. Ultra keep on rocking. And something Scrapz has to say to the camera. I don't read lips, but I would love to know what he just said.
In the end, it's a comfortable round win coming in from Ultra, but not necessarily the most comfortable search and destroy. His seam was so good for the London Royal Ravens. 17 and 6 engagements off the absolute chain for him in the search and destroy. 12 untraded kills is something quite bizarre, but I want to say, I'm not putting any blame on a seam whatsoever, but the game plan was let him go, let him see what he can find. And when he was finding kills in those first couple of rounds, London looked fantastic. He's dropped 1,800 damage for the L.
5 first bloods for London Royal Ravens.
Yeah.
And it has not paid out for them. That is a ridiculous stat line, and there's something to say. That many kills, that kind of record, and you lose 6-4. He found 3 in the final round, Ton.
Yeah. And I think, you know, you talk about those 5 first bloods, it is half of them, I suppose, but the fact that they haven't converted most of them, London Royal Ravens, it kind of proves that Toronto Ultra stat that we said at the beginning. Not finding many first bloods. Yeah, okay, they found half of them there, but even when they went, those 3v4 percentages have been looking really good for them. They closed it out. I think that big round, I think it might be round 3 or 4, where it was the 4v4. All of a sudden, they were in a 2v4 position, having to defend that bomb, just about getting the defense in, coming in from Scrapz in that 1 versus 3. Good job from Scrapz. Good job from Ultra. 2-0 to the good.
They certainly are. Well, let's find out how this continues right after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more action on the Call of Duty League. We'll see you right after this.
Game with the Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are in a game with Toronto Ultra versus the London Royal Ravens. We're heading into map 3 and control, and to get you caught up on what's happened so far, Ultra in the hard point looked dominant the entire way through. And then in the S&D, we had a Seam dropping 17 kills, which I believe is a kill record for S&D, but they took the L 6-4 against Ultra. And at the moment, the London Royal Ravens need a big regain. The Seam has been frying on the S&D. Can they find something in the control? Can they turn this game on its head?
Well, if I was to say any map in particular that is definitely going to go over towards Toronto Ultra, it was probably this one. So to answer your question, I think probably not, but realistically, that search and destroy, it's one of those games they'll look back at. If a team is dropping those kind of numbers, you expect to go on to win the game. And it's not even that his teammates aren't picking up the slack or anything. He was doing great work, but it felt like he was the catalyst for every good round that they found. Of course, dropping 17 kills, it's not going to take any big analysis to figure that one out, but it felt like if it wasn't working, then London Royal Ravens had nothing else to work with. Looking over towards control, though, Ultra really, really solid when it does come down to this map. Overall offensive win rate in general on Hotels 55%, but Toronto have a 67% defensive win rate. Look for Ravens to try and take an attack off them if they possibly can.
That's going to be the difference here. Statistically, it's favored towards Ultra. The way this series has been going, it's favored towards Ultra, but you don't count anything out here in the CDL at the moment. Zero has broken through. Very few little health remaining, and he goes for the stun challenge. He's going to pay the price for it, but London have used the opportunity. They've got on to B.
Can Ultra respond? We've seen things kind of skew when it does come down to this map in terms of attack and defense, which is stronger. Kind of figuring out that it might be attack, to be honest with you. Standing now making the push through, and it's bedroom control. You have to get control of it. You haven't got control of your Royal Ravens, and you've all been killed. Far too easy. If you're Ravens, you have to have somebody here. It is literally essential every single time. They didn't. Standy says, thank you very much. Easy break. Ravens have to now concentrate on over towards A.
Got a player in. Nastie's going to slowly get that one up. Zero's got all the way through. Not sure they're going to stack this, but are they going to make this push and throw lives away? They're already in a very, very good position. They can find just maybe a kill first, and then they'll try and break in. Scrapz finds the first one, and Scrapz is just putting the pressure on. Bullets flying through the doorway to get Scrapz down.
Should be the point now. Looks like the side of Ultra are happy to give this one up. Damage has somewhat been done. Seem in a naughty little position, though. He's just going to try and cause some chaos in the ranks of Toronto Ultra. We'll find one. Bedroom is expected. Push. Oh, if he gets a couple more bullets, Clinics does get out in time. So that pressure now completely gone for the side for Ravens. They'll have to find a way through. Hella high water. Standy will find an easy one there. Ravens, it all to do here still.
This is the long haul, though. This is the hard thing to do on this map. Can you get into B if you don't have control? At the moment, they don't have bedroom. In fact, they don't really have anywhere. It's on there waiting for the last player to spawn up towards kitchen. Scrapz will take down inside. Still, you've got to dig every single step of the way here and try to make a wave of kills. They have a minute to do it.
The only thing they really have on their side is time here. Well, a minute. Still a long time when it comes down to Call of Duty. Seam will get taken down, but Nastie with a little bit of bedroom control now, and Standy is trying to counter towards that himself. Insight will find the kill over towards the back. Standy is really the ace in the hole here for Toronto Ultra. Staying alive is essential. Royal Ravens haven't dotted their I's, crossed their T's. They haven't got rid of him yet, but he might be overzealous. He might just be found by Zero. Not quite. Still alive on the flank of the Royal Ravens is Standy.
Standy, he's standing in the way of the Ravens, and they just can't get rid of him. It just seems like they're dancing around. Standy's still alive. 4 is eventually going to go down, but
gotta go.
Ravens have 25 seconds and 5 lives to do the impossible.
This is their chance.
And they've still got to get map control, and they've still got to get the kills, and they've still got to push all the way through.
If they can kill Kleenex, they've got a really good chance here. He's the only one in a position to flank from bedroom if they need it, but it doesn't look like they will. Zero's the only one to find a kill. He's dead now, as well as are the rest of the London Royal Ravens. Nastie without a hope and a prayer here. 1 versus 13. I don't think that's going to happen with that time on the board. Royal Ravens not able to get the job done, and again, it's that bedroom control. They made that early push over towards B. They found those first couple of kills. But you've got to expect a bedroom push coming through. If I'm in the Ravens, I'm thinking, right, have we killed Kleenex? Have we killed Standy? No, probably in bedroom. 99% of the time, that's where they'll be.
Yeah, they went for it, and unfortunately, just weren't able to find it there as well. But I don't know, London Royal Ravens, there was something about it, you know, the fake coming in. Zero managed to get him to pull towards the diner, and then they went on to B, but just, you are right, that one angle let them down. But if they can hold this, it doesn't matter. They got 4 ticks out of the gate, hold the defense, you're back in this.
Standing up in the round count, just 12-5 from him out of the game. Nastie surely not. Oh my goodness me, 5 HP, didn't take another bullet. Seems there to clean it up, but well, Kleenex himself will just try and stay alive in the middle of the map here, trying to keep the pressure on for Toronto Ultra, who will make some work over towards A.
How much do London commit to this? I can't think a lot. I think they just go for positioning. That second tick's already going through. The Nastie will go, but there's no one there to trade him. So it's not really a full push here from London.
I think Zero pushing this now, it kind of just holds them in. Well, if he stays alive, it does anyway. 15-6 from Standy. Surely not again! Oh, with some shots of anything. Nastie will quite happily take that gunfight, but 25-23 is the life advantage here for the side of Toronto Ultra. They're going to now try and pick their way through the Ravens. And that said, when it did come down to the major, it felt like attack was the easier side to get a hold of. See a couple of holds over towards A though as well. It was a bit strange, it has to be said. It was all over the shop, but Kleenex shot not all over the shop there. Nastie gets taken down pretty sharpish. Now all of a sudden, Ultra trying to weave their web over towards the back here. Lock something down, not gonna happen. Zero will be there to clean things up. Scrapz inside the bedroom, we'll lock that one down as well, and all of a sudden, Ultra have got it all to do.
Yeah, it's a really good hold from London there.
Yep,
didn't collapse, didn't break out of it. And that does give them a bit of breathing room. Set up again, make Ultra push you in every corner and every positioning. They're going to be up top here. Clears comes around the corner. Another good kill for them. This is everything they want to do. Disrupt that flow from Ultra. And you can see there is one player who slipped. Scrap. He's going to be through a bit, but are they going to be able to just deflect him here? Eventually we'll take down a seam. Will London react?
I don't think they need to. The position in the bedroom, they're in a good spot. Not necessarily anything you really need to do here with Scrap. Just be aware that he's there. Seam is going to get gunned by him, and he does have some support here, but if you're Ravens, you stay alive in bedroom.
You certainly do. Scrap in a great position here, but as they look to break down this Rubik's Cube of London Royal Ravens defense, let's go to a listening with Toronto Ultra.
Where couches? Yeah, one's couches as well. You stay alive, Scrap, okay? What's top bed? I'm native, bro. I'm probably dead.
Scrap.
Low bed? Low bed, I don't see it.
Scrap.
I don't see low bed. In lobby.
Help.
Just jumping around.
In lobby, got me. We top bed, probably?
Yeah. Still behind lobby bar.
He's in top bed, the right corner, bro. He's on the bed now, pushing towards cat room.
You didn't go cat room?
That's him. Maybe another one low bed.
D1. And close bed. On the mid block. Dead.
Nice,
Low bed now. Low bed. Running at one couches as well. Couches.
Let's see couches.
He's just pretty much gone, I think.
Couches dead.
Nice. We can get a point here. Yeah, I think he's close already.
Probably towels.
Towels. I needed him.
It's open. It's open.
What do you want?
I'll pick a mid up when I spawn.
Yeah, pick it up. Be left.
I saw towels.
I didn't spawn mid.
Hit the close left corner. Nice one, close left corner.
One shot.
Couch,
Absolute D1. Last guy above you.
Up him fast, eLLeY.
I reach out.
He's D2 or D1.
Got
Nice.
him.
Get point. D2. I pitch.
Look at it.
I have D2.
Pinch.
Nice shit, boys.
Come on.
Well, there we go. Ultra figure it out. They make the single break. They get into the point and lock the door on the London Royal Ravens. Ton, that last push from them, it was clinical. You could hear in the comms them figuring out exactly where every member of London was.
And I think as soon as they found a couple of kills inside the bedroom, they said to themselves, we need to push forward. You then need to find those kills towards the back. But I said to you that we were sitting in that listening, and as soon as they were 4 dead and there was 3 in the point, I was like, that's around. I mean, in that stage, if you're the Ravens, you need to just pull a rabbit out of the hat there. A bird out of the hat. A Raven specifically would be fantastic, because I mean, you need to do something in that situation that is unlikely to happen. Bedroom control consistently. I will constantly beat this drum, Brycey.
Well, let's see if they agree with you as they're lining up a seam, just trying to hide. Eventually, we'll go down to insight. And the writing on the wall is this. Lose one more round of control, and the Ravens will be 3-0'd. It is a long way back into this series if they want to make it. They've got players in the way. Nastie trying to stay alive, but he's stunned. He's weak. He's naded. He's dead. And it's only going to be Scrapz left alone here, and he gets gunned as well. And the London Royal Ravens find 2, though, towards B, but Scrap will be standing in their way, and he already takes down a seam.
Ravens had a bit of pressure over towards B, but you can see the reinforcements going over there for Ultra, which ultimately will open the door for Royal Ravens over towards A. CleanX now, though, will just give him a little bit of time to set himself up towards B. I don't think if you're Ultra, you worry too much over towards A. The Ravens, we knew this was going to be such a tough task, and heading into arguably Toronto's better game mode, it's always going to be so difficult. Finding yourselves 2-0 down into a control against Ultra is not a spot you want to be in. And as you can tell by the scoreboard, as you can tell by the scoreline, it's kind of playing out the way we thought. A-Zone is going to go over towards Ravens. They will have 1 minute and 44 seconds to break over towards B, but this setup, the trenches are dug. Toronto Ultra are sitting tight. Ravens have to flush them out. Bad start.
Straight in the This is going to be a very slow roll from the Ravens. They need to find some control. They need to make a couple of kills here. Scrapz makes one onto CleanX. Zero's called this onto insight. He's looking for it as well. This is a huge kill if he can get it. And they're pushing forward. London Royal Ravens have found just as small as the huge. They found one. They found the second. And they're going to be in the point. Nobody's going to be in bedroom for them. Standys could be the person again that just breaks this one down. He's there. London get that first tick, Ton.
Oh, they got rid of him as well. This is a huge opportunity now for London. If you're Ultra, you gotta go.
Nastie has to stay alive. He makes the kill as well. Alive on the point. Goes for the chow, but it will be inside. A seam dives back in, though. Gets into the point. Standy's going to be there. Goes for the chow. It's wild from a seam. Tries to hit a zigzag. Standy will find another kill. Outrageous performance here on the control from him so far. 25 and 15. And London could smell around. But their noses have been closed. And it's all thanks to Standy again.
He does ever so well. Gets killed a couple of times in that whole, I want to say, transaction between the two teams of ebbing and flowing between the point. The seam, though, trying to do it all on his own once again. We'll find 2 players towards the back. They clean up bedroom again. This is your second chance. You don't usually get 2. Scrapz and Co need to push the issue. Standy's going to be taken down again. You've got to make your move now.
One last tick. They're going for the stack as well. He dives in. He flies through the air and they get it. London Royal Ravens win their attacking round. They manage to rebuff Ultra. They break the deadlock. They will not go quietly out this time around. And we still have a game on our hand.
Just about. A couple of good pushes there from Ravens, has to be said, though. Wonderful kills coming through over towards top bedroom. And then as soon as the team finds those 2 kills towards the back, clean up bedroom, Standy's already dead. You then have a perfect path in over towards B. They get the kills. They lock it down. It makes it doable now for the side of Ravens.
Just cannot allow another break like last time around. They were on defense, and Zero's going to find Standy. Not committing towards A here. I think they'll give it up, try and get as many kills out as possible without giving away too much map control. Potential push coming in, though. You can see Asim might be looking for this one, and it's a good nade from him. It's not going to be good enough, though. Asim gets taken down, and there's no trades coming forward for Ultra.
Pressure still here for the Ravens. Full gunfights, and all of a sudden you're going to force them off. But you can't be too greedy, I feel like, over towards the point. Now all of a sudden Toronto Ultra will get a hold of it. And that's about working your way through. Once again, Royal Ravens have quite a bit of presence over towards bedroom. Make that half that presence now as Scrapz has been dealt with. Little player over there. Kills going to start coming on through. Nastie will find 2 over towards A. There's not enough time to stop A going over towards that side of things of Toronto Ultra, but bedroom control now. Still 50-50.
Phoenix checking everything he can do as well, as that play's going to be behind him. Won't get another 10 on this game. Asim tries to push it out. Isn't going to be able to either. Inside now making his move forward. London a little bit turtled up here. Expect maybe somebody to hit a long flank at some point. They might need to. I think it is going to happen. You can see Nastie starting to make his way out. They do not want to allow Ultra all this control. Zero may be the main player here. They can stay alive and keep pushing them back. Do not allow them full control here. Scrapz gets another one.
Big kills.
And London are holding so far.
0-11 kick him, and you can see Ultra kind of just set up, ready and waiting in bedroom for the player who's waiting for them in bedroom. Insight will find 0. Now all of a sudden this becomes a little bit more dangerous. The team does find 1, gets out as well. Scrapz and Hove actually got aggressive and came to help him out here. It's a 3-stack over towards the bedroom side of things. Now Royal Ravens very much putting all their eggs in one basket here.
Oh, that's a huge gunfight from Nastie as well. Won't be flanked quite yet, but you are right, London pushing that out as far as they can. They do not want to make this easy for Ultra to get through, and Nastie's causing issues all over the map, but he wants to just stay alive. He's pulling this Ultra team apart. Eventually he goes down towards Standy. The flank is going to be in. London Royal Ravens are betting everything on this play.
You have to stay alive. Insight will find 1. Nastie with important kills over towards the back. Scrap takes him down. Capturing the zone now. You're forcing
timing
Ravens to come into the gunfight, and all of a sudden Scrapz will win it. He will get gun this time though, and I'm not too sure about that challenge. Now for the side of Ultra, you've got 25 seconds remaining. 2 dead.
London's have bet the farm on it. They have put them out here, and Asim is doing a good job. They've had to continually try and figure this out. Asim staying alive again. 15 seconds. This happened last time on the attack, and Ultra were able to find their way forward. Can they do it here? Clears to go through, but Asim finds him as they hug in the corner. And Inside now looking for the kills, but they don't have bedroom control. They're going to jump onto the close. Well, Skyz gets a huge kill onto him. And now Ultra looking for it. Nastie finds one. Clears gets another, but they're on the point ton. 3 seconds left.
0.
And 0 gets a kill. Standy's still alive. Reinforcements flooding in from Ultra. London are here in numbers, but they have to make the kills. Clinics finds 1. Surely not. Nastie, and Inside gets it. Nastie gets a 3rd. And that's going to be enough. Oh my goodness. You can rewatch that 1,000 times. But my good God, I am trying not to swear. What on earth just happened? Nastie found everybody he needed to. The time ticked away. And London Royal Ravens made that look difficult.
Oh, it always seems like we get down to the final 10 or 15 seconds. And this is not indicative to the London Royal Ravens. Every team just panics. It's just like, all of a sudden, it's like a snap, and you can find those kills on bedroom, and all of a sudden you have that push, that final push onto the site. They don't get the job done, though, the Toronto Ultra. They were oh so close to doing so. And now they have to do it on the defensive side of things. Royal Ravens have to find another attack. 2-2. Huge round for Ravens.
Nastie's already trying to power forward, but they've lost the original gunfights. 0 trying to thread the needle here on the Scrap, and eventually will get the kill, but no map position for London.
Good shots. Not quite enough to dispatch of Standy. That was Inside, sorry. Good hold so far from the side of Ultra. Nastie and Co just trying to find a little bit of control themselves. They have control of the bedroom, and I think that will actually urge them on to make a push over towards B here. So maybe Standy in a position, of course it is, to do something about it. And over the catwalk does come Kleenex. London not in too bad of a spot here.
They're also playing this very, very slow. It's giving Ultra a good chance to actually get in the position they want to be in. Insight will go down. They may look to capitalize on this, but they aren't going to win the next gunfights. Ultra fine too, and with time ticking away, and the Royal Ravens haven't even got A at the moment. They now have to battle through Kleenex.
I think it was a double-edged sword in that situation. You have good control over towards B, but they were just a little bit too slow. They were a little bit too tentative, and all of a sudden, Kleenex over towards A is an issue. Nastie will find one. Dead silence pop. Kleenex now just causing havoc in kitchen. This is what he's going to do and do best. There is actually a little bit of action going on for London Royal Ravens over towards the B side yet. It will get cleared out by Ultra, but look over towards B. Can they clear it out as well? Royal Ravens have risked it here.
Scrapz?
Has it worked?
That's an incredible two-piece from him. He found standing behind him, had the chance to turn and burn. That single two-piece has opened the door here on B. Scrapz has made a hero play, and the rest of the Ravens are trying to reinforce that second tick.
Help him.
Through, but 9 seconds left. The second tick has come in, but it might not be enough. Zero's alive. Kleenex is going to take him down. It's just Zero alive, and down he goes. And the London Royal Ravens try to make something happen here. They're going to try and get underway with the final dying seconds.
Ooh.
1 second. Scrapz is going to go for this again. He's going to go for B himself. And he's pulled the player towards him.
He got a kill. He got a kill over towards it. The kill's over towards A, though. Oh, and he got off it.
No. Did he get... Was it the cruise missile? What?
No, the cruise missile got a player over towards A, and Scrapz was over at B just trying to disrupt. And he must have got off the point thinking his team were in A, and it's a disaster in the end, to be honest.
Well, that game did not end with a bang. It kind of ended with a whimper, and I'd love to see the last few seconds replayed there, production, because we just want to check out exactly what happened. We know there was 1 second on the clock. Scrapz went over towards B. The rest of London were supposed to be grabbing A, stopping it and getting the rest of the time. Again, big performances from Standy and Scrap once again in this, dropping the hammer in slaying. But we have got to see the end of that one again.
Yeah, I think, you know, the streak comes in over towards A to try and shut that final kill down for Ultra. They're in a good spot in that scenario. They expect Royal Ravens to be making a big hit over towards A. They know Scrapz is at B, because he had to find a kill to open things up to then give himself a chance to stop the clock. We'll have a little look at it just to try and break it down here. So this is where Asim is then pushing. Okay, so this is after Scrapz found the two to open this up. They all get killed, then have to respawn. Ultra like, well, they've got to hit A, and Scrapz. That didn't trip. That didn't trip us up as nearly as much as I thought it would. On the point.
He's not on the point here.
Yeah, and his team are on A, so he's like, yeah, I'm chilling. Now they all die. He jumped off it just to try and hold down, because he's thinking advanced. He's thinking, right, okay, where should I be here if we want to try and get a hold of B after we get A? And the problem is that he's not on the point. His team get all wiped out over towards A. It's unfortunate. I kind of do like the play, but you need to secure the time. You need to make sure the rest of your team are there to help. He didn't really spawn somewhere where he could help over towards A, so ultimately makes the play over towards B. Doesn't work out though.
No, it certainly does not. And unfortunately, it's one of those things with 1.1 second left on the clock, trying to play his life, making sure he didn't go down instantly for it and trying to get something out towards B, because it could have got an instant capture if they had A locked in. But I think it's the same case again. Not enough slaying in the positions they needed it. But I'll tell you something, we can break it down as much as we like, but we're not the experts here. Let's throw it over to our desk and see what they thought.
Thank you very much, Brycey and Ton. Great casting as always. And of course, great performances coming out of Toronto Ultra. 3-0 if you're looking at the big board. But those last two games coming down to the wire. Nameless, let's start with you. Early thoughts here on the 3-0 from Ultra. We all predicted this team to win it. Was it as close or a bigger blowout than you expected?
I mean, map one, you know, looking at it, Toronto definitely had the better edge. I mean, they started out on the good side. They rolled that in through the end of the game. A couple small opportunities there for London. Games 2 and 3, though, got a little bit closer comfort in game 3. Games 2 Search and Destroy, I thought London was outplaying the majority of the time. A couple rounds, they just had some blunders that they threw away. But I think we all expected Toronto to win this series. They're a stronger team. We got big performances from everyone on the team. And Kleenex in particular, for me, was MVP for this series, making huge plays in that hard point with the Baznev. Some big rounds in that Search and Destroy with that 2-piece. So, yeah, easy does it for Toronto.
aLLeY, we were talking a little bit about it in the green room. Kleenex and Insight just constantly doing that dirty work, playing for their teammates. Everyone playing selflessly on Toronto. For London, though, we put the spotlight on Scrapz coming in. aSim stole the show in that Search and Destroy. What do you want to see from London moving forward? Everyone in the chat's like, drop this player, make some moves. This is their first game together here in the CDL.
I think it's cleaning up a lot of little mistakes that they kept making, I think throughout the hardpoint and the search and destroy, really showed they're capable of putting themselves in favorable situations, but it's their own mistakes. They start beating themselves. We talk about London Royal Ravens and search and destroy, the second team in First Bloods in the league. We saw what aBeZy was doing. Even Scrapz was getting into the mix, getting those opening kills, but they're 7th in the league when it comes to converting those. So they're putting themselves in a favorable situation, but they aren't closing it out. And that just, at the end of the day, they're allowing the other team to clutch. They're making mistakes when they're up a man. So it's just these tiny things that they really need to go back in that VOD review.
Yeah, time to go back and watch some footage. Right now, though, we got some live footage of a beautiful boy with a great smile. Welcome back to the show. We got young Scrappy Dude joining us once again. How are we feeling,
Hey. What's going on?
So tell me about this series. You're matching up against London. They've got a new player. Were you looking at their VODs coming into this series? Do you game plan for specific teams, or were you guys just coming out with your own strategies?
I mean, we don't really watch other teams. I mean, we know how we play. If we do what we know, then no matter what the other team does, we're gonna come out with the win.
Love the confidence from you continuously since the beginning of the year and heading into it. I will to say, I mean, you guys are looking fantastic. The teamwork moving forward has looked much better, even off that top 4 placing. What is you guys specifically focusing on in this second major heading into Boston?
I would say probably our search.
Okay.
I know that we're like we're supposed to be known as like probably one of the better S&D teams, but when we play New York, we play awful, to be honest. And I think if we could just fix up our S&D, then we're going to be a team that can really, I don't know, win tournaments like very convincingly.
I definitely agree with that. And, you know, looking at you in this series, you guys play Embassy Search and Destroy. You were 0-1 on that headed into this series. And we saw you guys in the early rounds, like you're getting picked apart a little bit, giving up some kills. I saw you got naded on the truck on the street by aBeZy. So what adjustments were made throughout that map, coming in, or in the middle of that map?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for us, we had to play a little bit more aggressive. I felt like we were trying to letting them make the plays on us. And I think when it got to around that like 3-3, 4-3 range, I was like, yo, let's just run at these doors. Like they can't kill us in gunfights, so I don't know why we're playing scared. And we just bang stuff out, and they couldn't mess with us.
Scrappy, last question. I gotta ask you, what went down in Raleigh? You guys were looking red hot. You ended up in 4th. What went down there, and what are you working on between now and the next major in Boston next month?
Yeah, well, at Raleigh, our HP I felt like was there for us. The FaZe series, probably we made a couple mistakes, but I think it's just making sure that all of our game modes, we just fix a few little things. And once we fix a little bit of a few things in every game mode, then, like I said, we're going to be unstoppable.
You're looking great, man. Congratulations on kicking off the online qualifiers with a 3-0, another W. Anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, shout out the Ultra fans, shout out my mom, shout out everyone who's watching. Those guys were shooting bodies, but they're terrible. I don't know why. And yeah, we move on.
It is what it is, buddy. Thanks for joining the show. That's Scrappy. You can catch him online and, of course, later this week. And for now, though, we got to revisit one of the big moments, and it came from the man that was just on your screen. It's our Scump play of the match, and this one is a 1v3 in the search and destroy. Let's walk through it one more time. Here's your mini-map. aLLeY, break it down for me.
I mean, the bomb's just down in a great spot, and nobody's watching this middle aLLeY. Scrap knows he needs to get the player off the bomb, and by then, 8 seconds on the clock, nobody's close enough. Sure, he gets traded out, but that's a roundup for Toronto Ultra.
Man, and it's really just a couple of these moments for London that it just got away from them, right? Like losing track of them, timing of things, like they needed to hop the bomb. They had all the advantages in the world, and they throw it away. But nevertheless, a fantastic play by Scrap coming and getting that kill.
Scrap was doing work there for Toronto, gets that round win, but we wanted to turn our spotlight onto the London Royal Ravens, Scrapz with the Z. Let's take a look at some of his highlights, especially in that final game. I felt like he was finding his form and control. Yes, he wasn't on the point in that final second, but that's because he was planning on the next hill.
Yeah, I mean, you know, looking at Scrapz throughout the series, I think individually, like, he played fine, especially in the control. Like, on their defensive stand that they had, he was in bedroom. He stayed alive, like, the entire time. He did his job. Like, he stayed over there the entire round. He picked up the kills that he needed to get, and for this team, he just needs to be a slayer. And overall, they're outmatched in this series. You don't go into a series versus Toronto when you just make a roster change coming in. Nobody's expecting London to come out and take this victory. But I think in games 2 and 3, it showed that this team has a lot of potential, Puckett. So I'm excited to see his development.
Especially in Search and Destroy, if aSimp keeps playing this way, can we please look at this one more time? As soon as I saw round 2, aSimp 5-0, and then he opens up with 2 more kills, it's like, let's start the montage. Get it rolling, editors, because this is just going to be one of those games, aLLeY.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, it just had maybe some team chemistry, like, wasn't there, because there was so many opportunities that aSimp opened up the map for them. And once again, we talk about all the first bloods London Royal Ravens have under their belt. 2nd in the league. First blood conversion, 7th in the league. We witnessed that in this 2nd SMD here, as London would always get that early blood, but allowed Toronto Ultra to clutch onto them. Especially when aSimp, this is the perfect opportunity. He jumps up top, he gets the kill. He gets the kill on this guy. Instantly, his teammates should have hopped the defuse right then and there. They didn't. They didn't give themselves time to hop on the bomb, and then end up losing the SMD 6-4.
Yeah, that's just like, that round is so tough because the comms had to have been wild, right?
Yeah.
They're waiting on the streak to come in, and aSimp's the guy trying to make the play. And what happens there is Nastie's actually in front of him while he's using the streak, and he doesn't push in to go and try to help them clear out the top PD. He wraps back, but he takes way too long to get over towards bomb site, and Zero can't strafe out and play for that kill. He will die, and they'll lose the round immediately. So just some timing things, some communication errors, but you know, the bright side is aSimp was picking up them kills.
All right, London's going to go back to the drawing board, fix some of their mistakes before their next match. And while you're waiting for our next match to kick off, we want to remind you to pick up your CDL team packs. That's right, look like the pros, play like the pros with the new CDL 2023 team packs. Home and away styles, male and female variants, weapon camos, emblems, and calling cards for your favorite squads. Check out CallOfDutyLeague.com to get yours today. Now, Twitter, I heard you. And everybody wanted it. It's back. Pick'em is officially here. Pick'em.callofdutyleague.com. You're already on the website. Might as well get your predictions in. And why do they need to do this?
Listen, go ahead and put your pick'ems in, right? One, because we all want to have better pick'ems than Puckett. I mean, honestly.
Whoa, my bad.
This guy's pick'ems. Wait, you picked Toronto on that series, right?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
we all have better picks than Ton and Bryson. They definitely picked one.
Not the first time being wrong, not the last. We got to go to break. When we come back, we'll throw more shade at the Brits, and we got Boston versus Minnesota when we return.